You are listening to a new podcast by Kill Fred.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About Love Daily. It's your host Guilford, and today we're talking a very big one. Why it's absolutely necessary for couples to really get to know each other's before they jump into marriage. Look, I get it. Love is very powerful, and the idea of forever can be so exciting. But before you put a ring on it, there's something we need to talk about. Understanding each other's on a deeper level. So grab your coffee right now, settle in, and let's talk about why knowing your partner well before marriage isn't just a good idea, it's essential. So, segment number one, we are talking the foundations of marriage. All right, let's start with the basics. Marriage is a very big one, big deal, right? I mean, we are talking about a commitment that is supposed to last a lifetime. And let's be real, there's no easy button for that. So if you don't know your partner well, how can you build a very strong relationships or a lasting foundations? Think about it. When you get married, you're signing up to be with someone throughout thick and thin, through the highs and lows and everything in between. But if you don't truly understand each other's values, goals, habits, and even quirks, how are you going to handle life as curveballs? Marriage is like the ultimate team sport. You need to know your teammates' strength, weakness, and how do they respond under pressures. And guess what? This starts before the wedding day. Trust me, the more you understand about your partner's mindset, the better prepared you will be for the whatever life throws your way. Segment number two is avoiding the surprise factors. Now, here's something that a lot of couples don't talk about. Everyone loves the idea of being surprised by their partners, especially in the early stages of dating. Let's be real, okay? When it comes to marriage, there's always no room for major surprises. You don't want to make up one day and suddenly find out that your spouse has some hidden values, habits, or life goals that completely crash you up with yours. So you know what I am talking about, okay? So the classic scenario where you both you're on the same page and the bum, you're not even reading the same book. And if your relationships, it's very crucial to have those deep, sometimes uncomfortable conversations before trying the knot. Things like finances, children, career goals, religions, family dynamics. These are the topics that can make or break a marriage. So the more you know each other's in these areas, the fewer surprises you'll face later on. The importance of compatibility. Now let's talk about compatibility. Look, love is wonderful, but it's not everything. You can love someone deeply and still realize that you're not quite compatible in the key areas of life, and that's okay. What matters is being on the same wavelength, and it comes to the essentials. Are your future goals aligned? Do you both want kids? How do you handle stress or conflicts? Are your lifestyles compatible, or do you enjoy the same hobbies or at least support each other's interests? Knowing these things isn't about checking boxes. It's about building a life together that works. And sometimes we have love just isn't enough to overcome mismatched values or goals. So before you commit to a lifetime, make sure you're truly compatible in the areas that matters most. So segment number 4 is communication styles matters. Here's another big one. Communications, we've all heard it before, but I'm going to say it again and again. Communication is everything in relationships, and yet it is one of the most underrated aspects of getting to know each other's before marriage. Why? It is because when you get married, you're going to have disagreements, guaranteed. But how do you handle those disagreements can make or break the relationships. So you've got to understand how your partners communicate, especially when things get tough. Do they shut down when they are upset? Do they need space? Do they prefer to talk things about out immediately? Do they raise voices, or do they keep it calm? How do they express affections, and how do they show anger or frustrations? These are the things you need to know before walking into the Acer. It's not just about knowing the good stuff. It's about understanding how to navigate the tough moments in a healthier way. So segment number 5 is emotional intelligence and growth. All right, let's dive a little deeper into emotional intelligence. Being in a relationship means you're going to encounter moments of growth, both as an individual and as a couple. You have to remember that. So before you make the decisions to marry someone, ask yourself, how well does your partner handle growth? Look, nobody's perfect. We all have flaws and we all have things we need to work on, but you want to make sure your partner is someone who is willing to grow with you always. Not just drag you down or remain stagnant. Can they handle constructive criticism? Do they acknowledge when they are wrong? Are they open to learning and improving? So emotional maturity is a very huge factor here. It's about being able to handle challenges without running away from them. And it's very important that both of you are on the same page when it comes to your individuals and the shared growth. So the long-term pictures, here is segment number 6, the long-term pictures. So you've got your goals aligned, you've walked through the tough conversations and you know each other's quirks. But now, what about the long term? Marriage isn't just about I do on the wedding day. It's about building a life together for the next 40, 50, or 60 years coming. What kind of life do you guys both envision? Have you talked about retirement plans, where you want to live, what you want to do with your time as a couple when the kids are out of the house? So these are the big questions that often get overlooked in the rush to tie the knot. But knowing your partner's long-term visions can save you a lot of headache, down the line. So in conclusion of this episode, why is it so important to actually know your partners before marriage? Because marriage is a lifelong partnership, and you need a very solid foundations of trust, understanding, and shared goals to make it work. The more you know each other before saying I do, the stronger your relationships will be in the long run, even 100 years. So take the time to ask the hard questions, have the tough conversations, and make sure your lives are truly aligned. And if you do, marriage will be much more than just a piece of paper. It will be a lifelong journey with a partner who truly gets you. So thank you so much for tuning in. It's Let's Talk About Love Daily. I am Kilfred, and I'll catch you next time with more relationships insights. Until then, remember, love isn't just about finding the right person. It's about becoming the right person for each other. Guys, happy December and bye-bye.